Abigail, thank you so much for joining us today, and really excited to hear your story. So, when did you first consider breast augmentation?
I probably initially thought about it in my early 20s, but just thought maybe that's something other people did. It wasn't necessarily for me. Okay. Also, there was the financial issue that wasn't the right time then.
Okay, so what made you consider it? Were you a little bit self-conscious? Were you?
I think, if I'm honest, I've always lacked a bit of confidence physically, and I think I never felt in proportion, but it's something you just got on with. I think when you're young it doesn't matter as much because you're quite confident, you know, you're young, aren't you? It's only when it got a bit later that I thought, oh, this is really bothering me.
Yeah. So would you say there was a specific life event, maybe a big birthday or something you thought, you know what, the time is now, this is the right time for me?
I think probably, if I had to pinpoint it, my first holiday after the children, without the children, and just being on a beach with my husband, and thought, you know, I don't feel confident. Okay. And I think that was probably the point I started to think about it seriously.
Yeah. So when you really started to think seriously about it, obviously you did your research, and what research did you find that best suited your individual needs? So did you look on the internet? Did you get recommendations from friends?
I think initially I definitely did a big Google search and looked at sort of the well-known companies and people that had it done. But if I'm being completely honest, I didn't really relate to the type of people that had it done. They were all very young. They'd gone quite big in their size. And I think I probably backed away a little bit then. Yeah. So it wasn't until I spoke to my sister-in-law who works in the industry and just said, who would you recommend for me to have an initial conversation with, that I sort of get that. So
did you feel that perhaps women at your age, maybe have had children, maybe were a little bit underrepresented?
I didn't see any. I didn't see any at all that was sat there sort of the other side of 35 saying, this is for me now.
Yeah. And were you nervous in that first consultation? Were you excited to be finally on that journey?
A bit of both, probably. A bit nervous. Obviously there's a sort of a physical examination that's a bit daunting. But once I'd got over that, and obviously he's very professional, I was just excited to see where, you know, the
I'm
results.
guessing you probably had a million questions to ask as well. And what sort of questions were you asking at those first consultations?
I think I took more in than asked questions on the first consultation, but I definitely had some when I left the room, and I think there was a sort of point of learning for me to really think about what I needed to know post that first consultation, and go back with more questions, because you're not going to get everything answered in one go.
So, Abigail, how was the recovery process for you?
Really straightforward, actually. I was in first thing in the morning, 7:30 I think, for my surgery, and was out by lunchtime, pottering around in the garden. Obviously you had to be careful with driving and housework and picking the kids up, but overall really, really smooth. Good.
And then you're now 2 years post-surgery, and how do you feel?
Oh, amazing. It was the best decision I've ever made. So much more confident. I feel great in clothes, and looking to buy different things, try different things, and going on holidays completely different.
So it's made a real difference.
Yeah, huge.